Am I the asshole I called someone a dumbass for taking surf lessons, when he can't swim? I teach surf lessons, and we had a new set of people come in, and when we got in the water he starts freaking out, wailing and screaming and holding onto the board. I asked him what's wrong and he told me he can't swim. I thought this was some joke, so I said, "Ha ha, very funny, now paddle," and again he's freaking out and just hanging onto the board, not swimming or anything. That's when I found out he can't swim, and he was serious. I drag him to shore and he asks if he can just lay on the board and I can just bring him over so he can wait for a wave. I was pissed at him wasting my time on this when I had a class to teach. Listen dumbass, you need to know how to swim to go surfing, just like you need to know how to swim for water polo, scuba diving, and many other activities. If you really can't swim then go away, I'm done wasting time here. He leaves and there was a massive argument that I can hear from the beach where he's yelling at our staff demanding a refund and other shit. He later writes really bad reviews about us on Yelp, saying, "Very unprofessional, unwilling to assist me in learning how to surf." Which our staff responded back with, "Sir, you didn't know how to swim. That's a prerequisite to surfing, something that should be self-evident."
Not the asshole. This man could have gotten himself killed or someone else. It would have been incredibly dangerous to allow him to continue. His suggestions were dumb. It's pretty sad that one wouldn't assume you would need to know how to swim to go out into the ocean. That's how people drown.
Not the asshole. You'd also be amazed how many people try to scuba dive when they can't swim. Absolutely astounds me. It's the ocean? Scuba diving fairly safe, but being able to swim in the huge ocean where anything can happen is kinda basic. The lack of common sense on people and this dude amazes me.
Obviously he shouldn't be attempting to surf when he can't swim, but the "listen dumbass" thing was unprofessional and totally unnecessary. You could have said everything else you said without the insult, and in fact the way your staff responded to the Yelp review was ideal. And to protect yourself in future, you should probably ask people whether they're competent swimmers. You don't want to find out only after someone's drowned that they couldn't swim, or couldn't swim well. Not the asshole. First off, LMAO, people are something else. Imagine if you had your back turned and he fell in and drowned. Sometimes you got to tell it the way it is, lol. Is there a waiver the students need to sign? If so, it should have verbiage explicitly stating you need to know how to swim and you as the instructor can end anyone's lesson if you see fit. If those documents do exist, just reply to his Yelp reviews with a policy statement.
The question, "Can you swim? How strong of a swimmer are you?" or "How comfortable are you in the water?" should cross your lips within the first 5 million of every conversation you have with a new student. I am a scuba instructor and you won't believe how many people rock up with no swimming skills expecting to be taught diving and get certified. It is part of your role as an instructor to clear up any misconceptions the general public may have about the sport you teach.
You're right that the guy is a dumbass for thinking he can learn to surf when he can't swim. In fact, he's beyond dumbass, but your response was unprofessional. Yes, he was an idiot, but it's unprofessional to insult him and talk down to him like that. It sounds like you were actually kind of mean, saying, "Hey dumbass, go away," and saying he wasted your time. He made a silly decision, but some people just don't think things through. He just wanted to try something new.
I nearly drowned as a child because someone who couldn't swim was pushed into the pool I was in. She panicked and grabbed onto me, using me as a flotation device, and in the process nearly drowning me. I inhaled loads of water, and remember having the thought of, "Shit, this is how I'm going to die." I had to grab onto her, and pull her down with me to get her to let go. I then full-on kicked her in the face to get away. Honestly, it was the most frightening experience of my life.
Not the asshole. He was a dumbass, plain and simple. A complete waste of your time. There's so many thick entitled people out there, it's unbelievable.
Yeah, it's kind of ridiculous that someone would think they could surf without first knowing swimming basics. However, you're still representing a business, and you handled it unprofessionally. All you needed to say was, "Sir, you're expected to know how to swim before taking up surfing. You're welcome to come back once you've learned." If I was a student there and heard you call someone else a dumbass, I'd begin to wonder what you call everyone. Do you make fun of me? My classmates, assuming this isn't one-to-one instruction. What else are you unprofessional about? My safety? You unwittingly caused potential harm to your brand, even if the client was a dumbass. There are ways of handling things professionally. You are the asshole. Not for what happened. There are stupid people all over the world. But you were in a professional setting. It's you or your company's job to do basic checks before you let someone do an activity. You failed to maintain a professional demeanor, and no matter how much your customer was a dumbass, you let yourself down there.
Calling someone that risks his life for fun a dumbass is appropriate. He should be thankful that it was just his feelings that were hurt. He could have lost everything if he swallowed the ocean. Not the asshole.
You are the asshole. If you run a surf school, one of the first questions on any liability waiver must be, can you swim? Yes, he could lie, but he didn't. When questioned, he openly told you he couldn't swim. How negligent do you have to be to allow someone to fit up a wetsuit and board, sit through a detailed safety talk about what to do if you get into difficulty, then walk them out to the open ocean without at any point asking, can you swim?
He is a dumbass, but you're meant to be a professional. You could have dealt with him without calling him names. Also, did he not have to sign something saying he could swim? How do you handle liability?
Not the asshole. He not only put his own life at risk but also yours too.
Oh man. You'd be surprised what people don't understand as prerequisites when it comes to swimming. Was a swim teacher for a long time pre-pandemic. Once had a dad call to schedule a trial lesson, and when he came in he asked if we provide swimsuits. I had to reschedule him.
Look, that guy was an dumbass for doing that. We get that, but you're an instructor, so act like one. Your response was way too unprofessional. Not the asshole. Dumbass was descriptive.
Everyone sucks here. The people of this sub must never left their homes. WTF, seriously. NTA for being a jerk for no reason. It is your fault. And yours alone. You are, for one, supposed to be the professional. Why are you being rude to someone when you should be screening people with these questions before you get on the water? Isn't it your job to know that? Given that their ability to swim well should definitely factor into how you're teaching him. Or in this case, if you're going to be teaching them. You're not wrong. It is definitely obvious to me. But there's no reason to be so rude over an honest mistake.
You are the asshole. Why wasn't the man asked if he knows how to swim before he enrolled for the lesson? Shouldn't this be a part of a quick check you do to make sure a person is eligible to enroll? Basics like can you swim, health history, etc. should have been asked by your organization.
Not the asshole. That person was a dumbass. What logic is going through their brain? I can't swim, so surfing is a good hobby for me. Man before drowning.
Gentle, your company are assholes. Hear me out. I live at the beach. I have never ever taken a water activity, surfing, kayaking, windsurfing, sailing, anything without having to tick a box on the form that says, I can swim 25 male, 50 male, 100 male, etc. This could have all been avoided by asking the question on the intake form.
Info: do you check with all your students that they can swim before the lesson?
Not the asshole. Stupid is stupid. Can't help someone like that.
Everyone sucks here. Yes, he was indeed a dumbass, but you were unprofessional in the way you told him he was a dumbass.
Yeah, you didn't need to call him a dumbass and yell at him. But he is the biggest asshole and a dumbass. Like who goes, I can't swim. I should take surf classes. That's a great idea.
Yes, he was an idiot for trying this before he learned how to swim, but calling him a dumbass, even if he is a dumbass, is unprofessional.
Calling him names was unnecessary and unprofessional even if he was a dumbass, which he is.
You are the asshole. Yes, he's a dumbass, but you being in a customer service type industry, that's no way to treat a customer, or anyone for that matter. Try being nice. You won't believe the response. Everyone sucks here just because it seems your delivery was not very professional. He is the asshole for thinking he could surf without knowing how to swim first, but that could have been said to him in a less insulting manner. This guy seems like the person that has never been on ice skates but watched the Olympics and decided to visit an ice rink to try some of the jumps.
You could have probably given the same message without calling him a dumbass.
Not the asshole. That man is an idiot of epic proportions. Listen, dumbass was nicer than I would have been. He put everyone's life in danger and then had the nerve to complain about a refund, you being unprofessional. Not the asshole. I can't swim and I can't even imagine wanting to learn to surf until I can. He put his life in danger and is a dumbass.
Sometimes, you just gotta let Darwin do his work. You are not the asshole.
Everyone sucks here. Yes, the guy was stupid and putting himself in danger by wanting to surf without knowing how to swim, but maybe you could have explained it a bit more eloquently and in a nicer way.
DFGHDHG, not the asshole. Oh my god. Hello. I would like to learn how to write a novel. I cannot read. Begin. Like, what did this guy expect? That you can just glue yourself to the board and hover above the ocean? Maybe you could have been gentler. Calling someone a dumbass is OODA. But the guy had it coming. This is nonsense.
Not the asshole. Play stupid games, win stupid prizes. You should have passed him off to a kiddie swim class since he wants to act like a baby. You are the asshole. I know people who've gone scuba diving without knowing how to swim. This man paid you for a service. You're not a school teacher who can say stuff like this to children, honestly even they shouldn't. This is a grown-up man paying you to guide him for surfing. He was your client and clients have to be treated with respect. If swimming is absolutely necessary as a skill for this, you could have said this in a nicer way. There was no need to call him a dumbass. Just dealt with the whole thing better without insulting the man. These are basic manners you need to know when you're dealing with people for a living.
Esh.
We had guys that joined the Coast Guard that couldn't swim. Always thought if you were on the water all day knowing how to swim would be important, lol.
YTA. Or you're a child. Yes, he is a dumbass. But that's not how you talk to paying customers. You really shouldn't even talk to acquaintances like that. Grow up. You're lucky you student fired. I would get it if you went, oh you can't swim? I'm sorry this course isn't for you, and he said, well what if I just lay on the broad, and again you said, that's not going to work, and then he tried to argue again. Then, listen dumbass, would be more understandable. I still wouldn't say it because I'm not an asshole. You respectfully tell people to fuck off in your customer service voice and then talk about them behind their back like a normal functioning adult.
Not the asshole. Not only did he wasted both your time and the other student's time. It is not like you didn't want to teach him, you were doing him a favor. What if he started drowning? Could have worded it better to him, but he kinda got what he deserved.
Not the asshole, ha 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 ha. I am sorry, but he seriously took surf lessons and he can't even freaking swim? WTF? I love the comment your staff put on his review. That was perfect.
I know people can be dumb. I can be dumb too, but this dumb? No thing way. I don't want to believe it, but damn. If this is real, not the asshole, just wow. Everyone sucks here. You did not speak to him respectfully. You are right that he was wasting everyone's time, but your delivery was wrong. You should have just told him that he can't continue the lesson since he can't swim and that he will need to learn to swim before he can return for another lesson. He also should never have signed up for a water activity without taking swimming lessons first.
Esh. He shouldn't have signed up and was foolish to do so. You shouldn't have actually called him that. You tarnish your reputation that way with no gain. As far as political correctness or whatever, there are bounds to business, and not berating your customers is one of them.
Not the asshole. That is a very risky thing to do.
Esh. 2 shouldn't call your customers dumbasses even if it is true.
You are the asshole. Absolutely, this student should have realized they should know how to swim to take surf lessons, but as an instructor it was incredibly unprofessional of you to lose your cool and call them names. I run training operations for a heavy machinery operator training company, and we get lots of situations like this. Should it be a given that students need to be able to read and write in order to write a theory exam? Yes. Should it be a prerequisite for students to be able to understand instructions in English when operating equipment under the direction of an instructor? Yes. Do we get students who don't meet these basic requirements? All the time. If any of my instructors spoke to any student this way, it would be their last day working for us.
Esh. Aren't you supposed to ask some basic questions first before you start training them? Your reply to this guy is rude and unprofessional and not a waste of your time since he clearly paid for your time. I personally know a scuba diving spot in my country that doesn't require you to know swimming since it's not deep and the professionals there help you have a great experience.